Assassin's Creed Unity had a disastrous launch, but it was one of the first games that felt next gen in the PS4 Xbox One era. The Witcher 3 wouldn't come out till the year after, GTA 5 was a PS3 game, Watch Dogs was too busy getting downgraded, and while there were some PlayStation and Xbox exclusives that looked and felt next gen, an open world of this scale, even with its smaller map, it felt different. Even with the buggy release, my god, Unity was hilariously broken at launch. No one denied how beautiful of a game it was. The lighting, the number of NPCs on screen at one time. The game has started to look dated by now, but till around 2020, it never felt outdated, visually at least. Paris in Unity is a very small map. Even back in 2014, the previous Assassin's Creed Black Flag had the biggest map up until that point. It's funny how they went with a smaller map for a game built for better hardware, but in my opinion, they did the right thing. Paris in Unity is my favorite map in Assassin's Creed. I love Egypt, Scandinavia, and ancient Greece way more in real life, but the way they recreated Paris in-game is next level. The map felt so dense, not only with NPCs, but many buildings had interiors and multiple floors. Some of these interiors are copied and pasted across the map, but still, you had these awesome palaces recreated as accurately as possible to one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Richer parts of the city had better interiors, they were fancy and clean, while poorer parts of the city were brimming with crime. They had their own broken down interiors, and it works well with gameplay as well. The game doesn't have horses, it has an RDR2 like fast travel system, but without that, you are pretty much just running everywhere. So the map feels bigger than it actually is, but that does get old. Exploration is not rewarding. You're not gonna come across a gem of a side quest or anything like that exploring the map here. Assassin's Creed works best in cities. The type of stealth, all the blending in plain sight, it doesn't really work in big empty worlds. Part of the reason why Valhalla really does not feel like an Assassin's Creed. Unity has the best stealth in the franchise because of the map and other stuff as well. If you've played Metal Gear Solid 5, this feels like that. You have many ways to enter and do your job. Unity even has some Hitman-like stealth, but it doesn't really land. You can sabotage manholes and steal keys, help out people revolting, but it's just much easier and more fun to infiltrate without using these assassination opportunities. Stealth feels natural because if you go out in the open, combat isn't as easy as previous Assassin's Creeds. If it's multiple enemies, you aren't making it out. So you choose stealth because it's the best option, not because it looks cool. It looks amazing as well, but that's not the point. They could have added a few more stealth assassination animations, but this is a 2014 game. Being stealthy in Assassin's Creed 3, for example, is not really necessary. Connor was a tank, looked like one, and played like one as well. You can take out an army, no problem. It's just a matter of time. And combat was brutal and so stylish. Going in guns blazing was the better option most of the time. But in Unity, you have to be a little bit more careful. Taking your time, disabling alarms, slowly taking out enemies one by one, avoiding large groups of enemies. The game made you feel like an actual assassin. But when you're forced out of the shadows, it doesn't really get bad. It gets bad for Arno, but for the player, it's still fun. Combat was revamped. AC3 and Black Flag, you just have to spam counterattacks and you will win. In Unity, you had to parry and use distance, of course counterattack, use other weapons in your inventory. Smoke bombs saved me so many times. The Phantom Blade is very useful for enemies on rooftops. Combat animations were pretty cool. Swords didn't feel like weightless sticks either. They felt heavy and dangerous. That is the one annoying thing. Weapons felt dangerous, but in reality they weren't. Enemies are bullet sponges. It takes so many hits to finish someone off. Combat would have been more intense with you being dangerous as well. Finishers are brutal, almost as brutal as Assassin's Creed 3. They feel well earned. Open combat in Unity kept me more engaged than previous games. Stealth was and is peak Assassin's Creed. Enemy AI isn't the smartest, they can't see very well, sometimes they'll forget you're there while fighting you. Another thing that makes stealth so good is the parkour in game. Once you figure out how to move around, parkour was also changed with this game. You could parkour down a building, which sounds small, but it's nice to not have to look for carts filled with hay anytime you want to go to the ground. Wall ejects were introduced. They look super cool and add a sense of danger. You can very well die parkouring if you wall eject at the wrong time. But just like any classic Assassin's Creed, you are gonna get stuck a lot. Even after figuring out the parkour system, Arno will hold on to or climb something you don't want to. Even when it's working bug-free, Unity isn't the smoothest game. It is so frustrating when your super cool free running sequence is interrupted by Arno squatting on a chimney by accident. Arno himself is not the most responsive protagonist, but even after all that, I love parkour in-game. It's amazing when it works and it makes things easier as well. When you're chasing someone, it's way easier to get to them when you're using some of these moves. The plot in Unity isn't anything special, it's fairly predictable, characters are also nothing special, but I don't mind Arno. He's no Arthur Morgan, but he isn't that bad either. Altair, Ezio, Edward, Shay, Pike, even Connor are all more engaging protagonists. In fact, Arno sometimes does feel like an Ezio wannabe. There are many similarities, especially in the first half of the game, but I like those witty one-liners at times. Elise is also predictable. They have the whole Romeo-Juliet thing going on here with assassins and Templars. If you're going into this game for the plot, boy are you going to be disappointed. It's just there as a means for the amazing gameplay. Assassin's Creed has never been known for its side quests, and Unity follows that trend. There are side quests and random encounters, but in typical Ubisoft fashion, they are repetitive and usually have no story behind them. One of these quests, I was investigating this giant who was terrorizing everyone in the area. I talked to a few people, no cutscenes by the way. They didn't really give me any information, but then somehow I knew exactly where to go and I end up fighting this guy, the supposed giant who was shorter than Arno. That's just how side quests go in Unity. If you want more of the gameplay, then sure, go ahead, finish all these quests, but on their own they aren't very good. Unity was the first Assassin's Creed that I followed before release. I had played Assassin's Creed 1 and 3 and I was super excited. When they showed off the co-op gameplay at E3, I could not wait to play it. Then the game released with about 1 million bugs, but for me at least, it wasn't game breaking by any means. Over the years, it has been polished. It's a far better experience now. If you like stealth or parkour or classic Assassin's Creed, you should give this a try. I like even the little things, eagle vision, the mini-map isn't a cluttered mess, Arno's assassin robes look super clean, still Altair had the best cloak. This game just doesn't feel Ubisoft-like, it's not lazy, it has a ton of little details that you will enjoy. In my opinion, Unity is the best Assassin's Creed so far, and the way the things are going, I think it will remain the best. Let me know what your favorite Assassin's Creed game is. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you want to see Unity compared with Assassin's Creed 2, click the video on screen. If you like this one, make sure to subscribe. I'm sure you will enjoy future content as well. Thanks for watching and have a great day wherever you are.